I am Vidhya Vishwanad, and I am a software design specialist who delivers business value along with software delivery, and I work with all the CxO leaders. Statistics suggest that around 45% of code, that is features that are delivered, never get used, and around 70% of digital transformation they underdeliver, and 90% of agile teams never measure business outcomes. Is that statistics true? It's absolutely true. These are statistics out there. And why are we talking about this? It's absolutely important that you don't just deliver code or systems or software, and it has to connect to the business outcomes that you have planned. Isn't that true? Aren't we all here to deliver business outcomes? So it's necessary for us to reflect back on what we are delivering, why we are delivering. As we move with fast-paced world, with cutting-edge technology and disruptive markets, we are delivering faster than before. But are we really delivering the right thing? Isn't that a question to be asked? Now, is this something that we need to be concerned about? Let me narrate to you something that I went through. So I was involved in a project recently where we had to troubleshoot a particular project which was delivered for an e-commerce client. And the code was delivered, everything went absolutely smooth. It was a cloud native project and all the right tick marks in the CI/CD pipelines, the microservices, everything. The tech stack was beautiful and everyone welcomed the go live date. Everything was on bang on target, everything beautifully done. What's the problem? There was silence just like this. Because 6 months down the line, the sales didn't show much uptick and the customer retention started dropping. The number of tickets, the support tickets started rising rapidly. Why? If everything went right with the code, what went wrong? Let's talk about it, right? So, how you can deliver better with business value drivers rather than just delivering code out there. So I come with about 2 decades of experience in delivering code. I started as a developer, moved on to solutioning, and then I moved on to project management for large corporates. And I have worked with MNCs such as IBM and Tech Mahindra. I come with good experience there, as well as my recent stint as a COO in the EV industry for an EV charger manufacturer also has given me an exposure into the EV and automobile industry. So let's talk about what we were talking about. So this particular client that we were talking about, and they ended up with a lot of problems. How did we go about handling that? So we started with looking at why these features were not used and what went wrong. And what we found was everything was delivered as per scope, but the scope didn't connect with the business value drivers or the business outcomes that were actually planned. So what happened was the strategic disconnect between what the business leaders wanted to drive and what the software actually managed to achieve. Why did we get to this kind of a place? Because there was not much percolation of the data between the layers. Now, what did we do to fix this whole thing? So now we did a few things like analyzing, rather than what are we building in the next backlog, we started looking at what are the value drivers, which are the ones that really will shape up the market and which will give us the value. We started looking at the client, and then we also started ensuring that these reach the market faster. What happened at the end of this whole thing? We started also creating one additional metric, a new metric, which is value per feature. So that added the value element to just the feature, rather than just delivering the features. At the end of this, what happened? We had around 35% increase in the feature adoption. We had 12% repeat customer purchases, and we had 22% drop in the customer care tickets. So this was a huge achievement. And remember one thing, we didn't change the technology, we didn't change the code, we changed the focus. It's absolutely important that the business outcome is tied to the software or the systems that we deliver. If you actually look at this particular incident, it's not an isolated one. It's across the industry, right? Everyone is in a rat race to go and deliver. Have I finished my project? Have I met the deadlines? How many of us are really tying it to the outcomes there? There are many of them who are actually launching initiatives but not really meeting the ROIs that was actually intended. So this needs to change with a little bit of thought process there. Okay, so what are the delivery and IT leaders out there doing to change this? I'm working with a few of them, right? So few things that we do is tie every initiative to how this will add value to your revenue, your customer retention and customer satisfaction. Then the next thing that you do is also look at how fast you can get responses from the market, because Agile is all about getting responses from the market to see whether you've made the impact. So it's not just about shipping the code faster, because you could build the wrong thing and get there faster too. So the ability to get the right things done faster will get you more mileage. The third thing is empower the teams to own the code. It's not like the developer just does the Java code or the Python code and walks away. Let him know why he or she is doing that, right? So that has to be a leadership initiative, and everyone has to percolate that value element into the teams. And last but not the least, collaboration. So rather than teams working in isolation, they need to connect. So the marketing team should be talking to the finance and other teams, and all these departments have to together propel the growth rather than they working in silos. It's not an individual game anymore, right? So together we can win faster. Now, having said all of this, I work with a lot of CTOs and C-suite leaders who are ready to move away from the development role that they were doing earlier, where they were just building softwares and delivering them, to where it matters for the business. So if you are already struggling with a business where you are delivering codes and not seeing the ROI, or if your systems are not really translating into those mileages that your business would really like to see, I would be glad to have a conversation with you. And I'd like to guide you into how we can make these software delivery into growth engines for your business. And I would be honored to have a meeting with you whenever it's possible. And remember, great software should deliver business outcomes. Thank you so much, and I'd love to meet you.